say that shit. Like me.
Oh Lord! I was like, what is this sound?
Show.
Oh no!
I mean, I know it's upsetting naturally, but like, I don't want it to alter your mood.
It always does.
Yeah, a good time.
It always does.
That's why we can talk about something else.
So I'm trying.
So what we talking about? I mean, I'm a firm believer in meditation. I don't know how much meditation you do. Do you do meditation? Okay, so that's
No.
That's a no.
No. I like to think. The funny shit is the person that was like, no. It's talking the fucking most.
Meditation.
Narrating the shit out of everything.
I'm just trying to help you not be upset about what we're talking about with your mom.
No, like to not talk about it ain't going to help no shit or whatever. But anyway, well, the women who don't have well, no, let's do the taboo shit. Woman child is going to have a great relationship with her mother. That's like a natural assumption there. Because the woman has a girl child, they're going to have a great and fucking blossoming and fucking they going to sit on the couch and be in snuggies and watch Wait and Exhale together and shit. Like, what about the reality of a lot of women are disconnected from their children?
That's correct.
Like, that's the conversation I feel like it's probably not had because it's just not had or even people feel shame in it. Because it's like, I'm gonna get into the I feel like the shit of like, what do you call it? When the woman doesn't connect with a child?
Postpartum, like depression
Type of shit? Yeah.
Yeah, that's undiagnosed in plenty of women that don't even know what that is or don't feel like they're supposed to feel like that or yeah.
I suffered all 3 times. Postpartum depression. My 3rd time, I felt like I wasn't connected with my son.
So is this like a? I feel like that's almost like a diagnosis. Is it like a chemical thing or like you
It
just
literally
feel
is
weird?
It
that you
literally
don't
is a chemical
It's
thing.
definitely a chemical thing.
It literally is. Your body just release. Your body just
hormones.
yeah, like a pregnancy test, a blood pregnancy test measures the amount of hormones. If they're going up, your pregnancy's growing. If they're not, something's wrong. So they continuously, your hormones is going crazy as the more your baby grows. Then you kick all of that out. When you have
a baby, everything just starts declining.
It declines
fast,
rapidly, like rapid decline of hormones, and that has a direct impact on your emotions.
And yes, it definitely is involving feelings, and it's feelings that you can't even control.
Right.
It's nothing you can even do.
And everybody is not, and it could be other issues that have nothing to do with the baby that are unresolved that will surface because of your hormone wishy-washiness. Then you won't be able to maintain decent relationships. You'll feel alone, and even if you have somebody, even if you have all the help, you will, because you're going through this in your mind and nobody else is feeling it, and your despair and your disconnect, you just feel alone and like
Well, damn.
yeah,
So,
nothing you can.
What I did research and what I did learn was like, it's not talked about. The hospitals have somewhat more services for the mom in the situation. And my concern when I was researching it, I was like, do we ever ask the dad? Do they have separation anxiety or any of these type of things? Do we have any services for the father who is probably like, he may feel like, well, I don't know. It chemically is not the same thing like how you have to say, but more of a, almost like how y'all get ready for like the baby, like Lamar's class. So do y'all have like situations set up for the new father who probably don't really know how to naturally accept that his time is going to have to be shared? and this woman is going to have to be shared, and all those types of things. So it might not be like I'm on purpose trying to take all the time and attention, but this is my first time with this, so I don't really know how to play this, and it is complicated emotion-wise. But it's like I'm used to having you accessible to me all the time, but now that the baby came, and it could be like after you give birth, like, all right, I'm hurting, I gotta heal, this, that, and the fourth, and it's like, oh, I'm not gonna get ass.
Yeah.
Or I can't get up, I can't snuggle with you, or
That's an abandoned area. Nobody cares about fathers. That's just, I mean, keep it real. Nobody cares about, like, nobody's setting up nothing for the father. If they are, that's some new progressive shit that,
To be truthfully honest though,
yeah, nobody.
on my perspective of that, there should be some kind of education given.
Yeah, period.
Because of the fact that when a woman experiences postpartum and the man is there, they don't know what the hell is going on.
Right.
And their natural response is to reject it.
Right.
reject what, you?
Yes.
Yes.
So like
You,
shut down, like, all right,
You
a
and
lot
what
of
you
people
doing,
do
you
that.
not the woman they
Have you noticed a lot of relationships?
got with.
A lot of relationships when the pregnancy, they're going through the pregnancy, they all nice and tight, and as soon as the baby born, all kinds of marriage problems start happening. That be that postpartum. The woman be all imbalanced, acting crazy, and the man don't recognize that it's really something. A lot of
Right,
people
and
think
the
it's real.
main factor is this super needy baby.
Men.
Yeah, like, but the baby is like
The baby.
super needs your full on self. He don't need your depressed self. He needs you to be on. Because he gonna cry, she gonna cry, you crying, like they need you on. They don't care nothing about you. They're not gonna comfort you in your depression at all. They gonna cry and be upset if they don't get what they need. So they're super needy in a time where you need, and you still have to nourish. So you're giving of yourself to the baby while you're in need. So I know that's just crazy.
I was thinking that while you were saying, and I don't want to jump all over the place, but more of for the mother who, she might not totally feel like detached from the baby, but it might be like slowly but surely happening, and she really don't identify what's going on. But until it like train wreck type thing, like, all right, the baby is in super need mode, and then I'm slowly but surely depleting and detaching from the baby. So it's almost like it I feel like it could potentially drive some of them crazy. And I wonder if it's I mean, I know that it's real, but I'm just, I guess, wondering, like, do they have any situations where moms like commit suicide because of the pressures too much?
Huh?
If not,
Speak on that. 'Cause
yeah.
I became suicidal during my postpartum. I had an IJ.
right.
Very suicidal.
Why were you suicidal?
Well, I mean, it was something that triggered it, of course. But I was postpartum. My daughter was only 3 months old, and I got very emotional about a situation that was happening at my house, at my mother's house, and I just didn't. I don't know. Like, I just couldn't handle it. It was overwhelming. It was so overwhelming that it was painful, and all I wanted to do was the pain to stop. I had 2 kids. I had Jasmine sitting right there and a newborn baby sitting right there, and it was like they weren't even there. I was ready to go. I was like, so, take the pills, let's go. So that shit is serious. And I got postpartum with Ryan, but I didn't get suicidal, and that is because I was married at the time, and I did have the support. But he still didn't understand, though. He still got frustrated with me. He still didn't understand what the problem was. Why was I so sad? Why was I always crying? Why was I always upset? He still didn't get it, but see, we were married, so he didn't bounce. But everybody else did. They left and came back when it got better. But, you know, it's education needs to be given if they really don't believe that it's real. It ain't just some people say. Men.
Are there like more conversations, or even like a group for mothers who have these issues to kind of do the gathering where they can, like, I guess, get support from coming to a meeting or a group? Or is it even talked about where it's like, girl, I had the same thing, or where it's comfortable to omit that, you know, I felt this way today about the baby? And it's like, oh, it can be a phone conversation or just like an interaction conversation.
I've never said it.
Yeah, I tell me it's too taboo. It's
Yeah.
still
There's certain
right now.
certain
too
thoughts
taboo.
that I remember I had about being a mother. I would never tell nobody.
Yeah, it's just too taboo still. It has not been. I don't think it's been. Yeah.
Judgy.
People are too
make
judging.
more out of something than what it is.
Right, and they will, and then in the age of social media, like you got people, celebrities who get torn down for even mentioning postpartum depression. That happened to Tamar Braxton. She mentioned it, and she got torn to shreds. Like, how dare you have those feelings? And it's like, what do you mean? I just told you a clinical a diagnosis, literally, that I couldn't help, and you just tore me down for that. Like, how does that work? Because it's still taboo, and you're expected to be the nurturing, caring mother through whatever. Like, your body goes through it. That's what it's made for. And you're just supposed to roll with the punches and get over it. Like, that's the idea. That's the general idea about it, as far as I know. I've never seen, too much, addressing, especially not in our community, that people gathering about postpartum depression and how they can help and what they can do. Just the same way people abandon any type of mental issues, that they don't really address them for shame and embarrassment and literal, because you do feel that it's very shameful. I would think it's very shameful to have went through all of that, had the baby, and now you feeling some type of way. That's anything but love and nourishing and oh so cute and anything but that. You don't expect that, and I think it's shameful to have to deal with that.
I know some other research that I had did, they were saying like I don't know, which is, it kind of like borders like people don't respect it because they don't understand it. So I guess if you want to use the word, the taboo shit, they were saying like enough time is not allotted for moms to heal. In reference to like job, definitely, but I think I was reading something the other day. It's funny how it's come back around. They were saying like in some village, a friend of mine posted her experience in Zanzibar when she went to Africa for the first time 10 years ago, and she was saying like that has changed who she was from the day forward that she came here, being there. And she was saying how they do everything, the village mentality, and how she was saying like the people in the community or the people in the family stepped up and took position for her, so she can be like in this isolated place, not so much isolated, but like in a hut or something for like 6 months, so she can get all the proper support and healing and all that type of shit. Like your body's supposed to go through a long, extensive period of healing before you get back out there. Not like, oh, another week I'm gonna snap back to or whatever. I was telling her that the people were saying like they want to work towards extending the time for people to come back to, mothers who come back to work, make it longer because they feel like they don't have enough time to heal. They in some instances you have to fight for it. You have to over-explain it, and then it has to kind of go through channels for it to be like justified. But it's like that women have this capability. Why wouldn't you have these things set up? And like for a mom to have to go back to work within like 3 weeks, that's not kind of realistic.
Well, it's supposed to be 6 weeks at a doctor, but then there's some companies and some countries, like some countries that you stay off maternity for a year. And depending on what business you with in this country, they'll give you that like almost that amount of time too, depending on the company.
Yeah, probably depending on the head of the company being somebody who experienced some shit.
Your average person like me working at a place like I work, I would get the 6 day weeks, and that's the fucking.
Which is crazy because I would believe every pregnancy permanently changes your body. Like, I mean, you go through, like, I have a co-worker. Right, I have a co-worker who did not have diabetes. She got gestational diabetes while she was pregnant, and now she still has diabetes that came with having her child. Like, now you're diabetic. Like now her whole life has changed because she got gestational diabetes while she was pregnant and it never left. stuff like that. Like your body goes through so many different unexpected things. Like you can't read about what would happen to somebody and think, okay, this is what's gonna happen to me. You could have some whole another shit happen to you.
I promise you that. I tell you this, if I had learned that about pregnancy before, like if they had taught that in school about the changes your body, I would have never had no kids.
Yeah.
They would explain to me, like, if it was really taught that, oh, you're going to experience mental issues, you're going to want to kill yourself, your whole body about to change, it's going to be totally different from when it started, breastfeeding change your breast, all that stuff was to tell you,
right.
I would have had one or none. Like, my body went through the change 3 times, and I'm with this. This is totally, I'm great with it, I love it.
Right.
But that took me a long time to love my body.
Right.
After
you have to go through your whole confidence all over again to accept what you're left with.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So it's so many things.
When it comes to that, yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. And then you get misconception because of people who pop them out.
And they don't got no offense.
People just be pop. Well, that's what it seems. You know what I'm saying? Because they keep on doing it, and it seems like they don't. Right, that they're going through nothing.
They get right back in shape.
Yeah,
like
and
3
they
weeks
keep.
later.
Right, or even some people that have really good experiences, like our sister-in-law. She loved being pregnant. She's like, I just want to put him back in there. I'm like, oh, right. You know, like I was a miserable pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So
I was happy pregnant with all of mine.
I was miserable.
I was happy.
Well,
but it was
my
after.
body felt miserable.
Afterwards was when it was no.
Yeah. Yeah, see, everybody has a different experience. So, yeah.
What was, I feel like anytime I talk, I kind of want to make sure that I try to stay organized, and I also be candid with this information because I never know who's watching and who can learn and who needs to learn because they stumbled upon this video. Because I feel like I just want to affect change and be the change. What are some things that y'all did experience that it was like, yeah, this was crazy? Whether it be like, I mean, I hear like the cosmetic shit of like my nose get fat and I got darker and then whatever, but like how you said, like my whole chemistry changed where I would have never thought, well, I never was suicidal at any point, but after having this child, my mind was like almost like overtaken, like I wasn't in control of myself.
You asking me that? I've been suffering on and off with depression ever since then. I mean, I think this has been the most, I haven't been depressed since I've been down here. I mean, I've had my moments, but I've been suffering with depression on and off ever since that postpartum moment, literally. Ever since. I didn't even think, I never even wanted to say I was depressed because, you know, where I'm from, that's considered a weakness. So even if in the household I was living in, you know that I was a strong one in the household. I could never appear weak. And then when that happened, like my mother didn't even believe it. I was at Sean's house. I was in Rochester with Sean, with Shania, and did it with her. When Shania called my mother to tell her, she didn't believe her. She was like, you were lying. No, had hung up. She did not even believe it. Sean had to call her 3 times. She's like, Mouse is in the hospital. She's like, no, the fuck she's not. She would never do that. What are you talking about? What did you do to my child? What did you do to my daughter? What did you do? She blamed Sean. I had to come home and literally tell her and show her the papers and explain. And she looked at me like, I can't even believe that you tried to do that. Then I had that. Everybody looking at me like, oh my God, you were so weak. You tried to kill yourself. Right? You don't know. No, trust me. That's how I felt, and it was nothing I could do about it. So it's definitely. I think that was the hardest thing coming from a pregnancy, the hormonal imbalance. I mean, the physical part is easy. You always fix that. You just work on it and fix it. The emotional damage, though, I know I ain't right. I know that I got my moments where I overreact or overthink or I take shit too far. Still. And I'm 37, so Najee is 14.
What? As far as mental, I think the biggest the biggest change has just been anxiety. Like, I mean, I've had several miscarriages since, but I have one physical child, and just anxiety about just a whole different life that I have to think about. Like, the anxiety of if he's ever in the car and I'm driving, and Lord God, I have to protect. Just anxiety about his life, like having to worry about him getting on a school bus, or like it's like the anxiety that comes with being responsible for another human life. The anxiety that came with every month of pregnancy. Okay, and I used to think I was too small to deliver a baby. I thought I was gonna die on the table. Like, all type of it's just anxiety about, oh my God, is he turning out right? Did I do it right? And am I fucking it up? Or am I that never goes away. My son's 15. I can't even see it going away. The anxiety of him moving out and me worrying about, like, that type of thing. That anxiety. I mean, I didn't have that. Even about my own life before having another one. So I still barely have it about my own life, but I have it about his, though. And even my nieces and nephews, anybody's kids that I'm close to, like, I still have anxiety about them too. Yeah, like that parental anxiety.
I was gonna say that. I was like, in my non-parent mind, that is like your mother instinct is heightened.
Yeah.
Which I feel like in some ways it sounds like it would wear on you.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a constant demand.
Wow, good job.
Right. It really is.
Wow.
Like, I mean,
You on it.
yeah, like, you would still, me and you would still, like, answering the phone when my son calls me is an anxious moment. Doesn't matter what, like, just him calling is like, what? You know what I'm saying? What, is everything okay?
What's going on?
Yeah, like, that's how it is. It's just a constant thing.
I don't have that. I have it when I'm calling and I ain't getting
Yeah, right. That too. For me.
They call me. I don't care what it is. I don't feel that. I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
Right.
Like, oh my God, what?
Right.
But she does. She has that.
Yeah.
Even if I call her in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I do.
Because I don't have a call. So if I call her, she's gonna. It's like when she
And then
called
I'm
me
the oldest
when
of
my
nine,
dad died. When Daddy died, that was the only time I knew something was wrong. Because she never calls me. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong? Something gotta be wrong. My sister is calling me, and that's what was wrong. Normally, I don't have that. It's like if I'm calling and okay, she didn't answer. Fuck, my heart goes into race mode right there, and it could just be because she just missed the call. She could be in the bathroom. She could have been calling me right back. I'm gonna feel like I'm about to have a heart attack until she calls back and I hear her voice. Now they could be just right here at the house. I could be right here. They be right over there.
Yeah.
If I call and they don't answer, I'm just.
Yeah. I have the same. I have that too. In addition.
But if she was to call me right now, like, hey mom, I heard a loud noise. Oh, okay, I'm on my way. I wouldn't feel like, oh my God, I gotta. Unless it's, mom, I'm scared. Now if she says she's scared, then that's gonna change the tone for me. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird, but I definitely witnessed it with Hootie. Like, she cannot, like, don't start over. Like, me, mom, you ain't hard.
Like I said, I know that's my gift is what I received from it all is just the anxiety, and I think that it took a minute to get it down from anxiety attacks. Like, it took just regular anxiety. It's just a little anxiety, but it was a point where it was almost too much, and it turned into something different, like hyperventilation and stuff like that, like craziness. So yeah, that was my inheritance.
So I heard you go there which I feel like a lot of people don't go there. And I also heard, I heard and trying to learn some shit about my mother. They told me about her abortions, a number of abortions that she had. I think before or after me. I think it was before me or something like that. And I was that kind of. It gave me some like type of like, all right, I don't really know her, which kind of gave me like a slither of empathy of like her life has been difficult. Doesn't give a justification for whatever's going on with us. No, but that's something that you can't undo. That's something that you don't forget, and that's something that will forever change you. To whether it be by choice or force, the determination of your child, especially if it's multiple children, and whatever the emotional exchange is, whether it be like I had to, I was forced to, or it was my choice to do it. Like that's a part of you. Whether it be like, okay, you can try to forget it, but I feel like you're not going to be successful in trying to forget it. And the traumas and the traumatic levels that it could be like you were full on, like ready, like had all the shit planned out of what you was going to do with this baby, and then it didn't make it. Or yeah, I'm about to go. Once my months hit, I'm about to go, get this done and over with. But I feel like that's also a conversation that people don't talk about, but I am interested in listening when it comes to that shit of like, I don't know, I kind of feel like what you just said, like y'all not really talking about it within the group, the women's group, so like that's probably something that you like, it's like a dirty little secret or something that you don't quite know how to break into the conversation or even address, or somebody, almost like how when people die, people don't know how to, I guess, comfort you. Or they say the same fucking standard shit that kind of irritates you the more you hear it. Almost that same way of like people don't know how to handle or address that situation. So it's almost like there isn't a safe or comfortable place for me to process this, continue to heal, continue to grow, and maybe let go of the situation. Like, do they offer y'all therapy? Like after you lose a child?
Nowadays, they do. Well, I remember when I just happened to, I've always had really harsh cycles. And like I said, for whatever reason, I always thought I was going to die on the table whenever I had a baby. I just thought I was going to die because I thought I was way too little. And I was mad, much smaller than this growing up, period. And for whatever reason, I associated that with not being able to carry a baby for whatever reason. So anyway, when I went to college, I literally did a paper and had to research about birth and miscarriages and things like that. And one of the things that I did find out that still didn't comfort me when I had miscarriages, but was that your body works to reject things that are not right. You sneeze, you cough, you terminate a pregnancy that's not developing correctly if your body is doing what it does. And just in the research, and I was like 18 or 17 at the time, and just in the research from what I gathered from, this was books when I was in college, from books, and like everything was pointing to spontaneous termination of a ill-developed pregnancy. Like, and if your body didn't work, then like they had people with claws, like people, like all these disforming and stuff like that. And when they try to connect it to your body didn't spew out this ill development and stuff like that. So I used to think, I used to try to make myself think that, okay, well, the miscarriages were just because it wasn't right and stuff like that. But then that was never comforting. That just was never comforting. It was like, well, why did I get pregnant in the first place when this is supposed to be this magical blessing? And no, why did it just reject what's wrong with my body? Why can't I hold a baby down? And just stuff like that. It never, that paper didn't help. The research didn't help because of the chemicals. Like, you're still pregnant and then you're not. In both situations, in any situations, or choice, an abortion, a miscarriage, you're pregnant and then you're not. It's still the chemical imbalance that you have to deal with, along with trying to process what your body just went through. You're still trying to process it.
The loss, the fact that
Yeah,
the loss.
right.
It's still a grief. It's still a loss.
Right, choice or not, it's still a loss.
It feels like it.
Right.
That just made me think of how y'all was saying, like, your body is already gearing up once it knows that, something is brewing, and then throughout that process, when does your body shut down after that baby is removed? Is it still doing it until it's going to shut off?
Right, yeah, no, it dwindles.
It's still shutting down.
Right, but we're still females, so we still got, you still got your hormones raging. You're still going through a cycle. Like, your cycle is pregnancy prep every single month, and if nothing fertilizes, it gets rid of.
That's why you get moody.
Yeah, and that's on a low scale. So think about the 9 months gestation period that you develop all those hormones in order to hold this baby, and then you let all that go at one time, and then you got to go home and take care of it. Oh my God, it's just crazy to think about it.
That's why the white people be like that when they got all the family support when somebody have a baby. They got everybody coming over to help and rotate and let the mom get some sleep. And I know in black communities that's not the case.
No.
I know when I gave birth to Jasmine, I was on my fucking own. My mother did not help me with Jasmine. Nobody did. It was me.
But sometimes even if somebody wants to help you, they gotta work. They can't come. No, right? No parent of mine or nobody.
That's what I'm saying. The white families and the Spanish families and stuff that we don't have in the black community, they have that togetherness. They have that thing where they support each other no matter what. Like, if they all gotta live in the same house together, they do it and they support each other. They help each other. Period. Whether it's financially or emotionally or physically or with a baby or with a child, they all helping each other. But when we don't got that same kind of foundation in our own community, our black community, because our community has been designed for us to hate ourselves and each other, then we're always going to be suffering. That's why the men are suffering from mental illness, because they gotta always learn how to be strong and be a man and this, that, and third. Women can't even be honest about their feelings because they feel like, oh, she's just in her feelings. And no, this is a real fucking thing. Like, this is actually a health issue that needs to be dealt with and discussed.
Like, it's a health crisis.
Yeah, it's a crisis, exactly. Then you got all kinds of shit that stems from all of that, and just in the black household by itself. So like, if those people getting all the support that they need, like I feel like if I had the right family support after I gave birth to all three of my kids, I wouldn't have went through no serious, severe depression. I mean, I probably would have had the blues and been sad and been moody, but I don't think I would have got to the point of the state that I wanted to kill myself.
Right,
I felt alone.
You'd have support to try to balance out everything.
Yeah,
Even though that still can happen, but you'd have had a lot of isolation.
It's not possible, but it's like in my situation, I feel like if I would have had that, I would have made it that far.
Right.
No, me, all I was looking for was somebody that's, I knew I was all alone. I knew that nobody didn't give a fuck with me. That was what drove it. So it was just like, see, I'm by myself. What am I going to do now? I guess I'll just keep doing this on my own until I can't take it no more. And that's what you do. You go and go and go until you're exhausted. And then you just feel like giving up. You have no choice. That's what you feel like. You feel like you have no choice. Even though you do, you just feel like you just don't. It's a very awful, awful, dark feeling. I never want to feel that again.
Yeah, and I didn't necessarily feel, I had bouts of it, I feel like, but it didn't linger. But I have no idea if this actually happened or not, but my own mother could have possibly had postpartum depression because I didn't think she liked me. She didn't really like me, but I was old enough to be able to know that. And now that I think, I'm like, was it postpartum that just lasted till I was 10 years old, or what? You know what I'm saying? We're the best of friends now, and love, but I literally was unfavored. And I was number one. I was the first one. So I'm like, how long, if it's unaddressed, does it even last? Till your kids can know? You know, it's like your kids can know that you don't like them or that you don't connect with them, and you don't like. Is it that bad? You know, who knows?
Right.
Because nobody explores it and says how long something like that can go on. Just the same as somebody had, like I said, the diabetes. It lasted. Now you have that. You have that now, all from a pregnancy. Do you just have depression or some sort of thing towards your firstborn because of postpartum? Oh, I don't know.
That's what I was listening to what you were saying. Like, I feel like the postpartum and then the not liking you, not being clear on why.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everything is possible, but I hear us explaining a lot of things and giving people a lot of answers, juggling a lot of people's minds, and addressing topics that people just won't even touch on to make them know this is a real thing. So almost like we're pulling the veil off or something. But when you was talking about I feel like almost like when something's not addressed, it just continues and you almost adapt like it's normalcy.
Right.
So that could be a possibility.
Right. Just adjusted to, okay, well, this is how our relationship is, so.
And definitely if it's in a family where the relationships are like sterile,
Mm-hmm.
it's that's an environment where it's like nobody kind of speaks up and be like, something is weird here. So I'm
Right.
like, well, this is the culture. This is how it should be.
Right, and especially when your personality matches somebody who was never really that affectionate anyway, or not that expressive towards those type of nurturing, caring feelings. It probably was it amplified if you had some sort of depression, trigger it. Like you wasn't even that way with that's just not even how you are. You're not like a super nurturing person anyway. So where was the flip going to switch anyway? You know what I'm saying with you? I mean, it did eventually, but if that's not your personality, I guess it would take you to actually have to try to not be like that. Like you have to recognize it and do something to be different, I guess.
And conversation can go.
Huh? You already know, girl, I'm yawning.
Oh,
You already
girl,
know.
I was like, what?
You lying.
Happened?
Ah,
Yeah, no. No, you just look so cute.
No,
And I'm
you
like,
already
no.
know.
Get
You know when I
here.
get sleepy and
Come here.
when I first wake up and when I'm sleeping. Can't help it.
I was like, what happened?
Who
did it? Who did it?
Them.
Who did it?
They did.
Well, fuck them up.
Get them.
Oh, yeah. This is a good talk.
How can I do that? Like real shit. Like that's why I was budgeting you so much. I mean, like I ain't gonna do most things. That's my mentality. But that's why I was budgeting you. Like it's bigger than what you think. Like my purpose, I feel like keeps bleeding out. But like people, I'm always gonna go there with this platform. Like I don't want to do none of the shit that people do because it's comfortable. Like no, like I want to learn as I'm listening. Like and sometimes when I be talking to people, like I just be listening because a lot of shit is like I don't know. Like I can chime in on some type of way, but I ain't pushing nothing out of my mouth. So I have to listen, and I gotta be willing to listen and understand that like this is a allowance, this is a growing experience, this is people being candid and allowing me in, sharing something that could be, if you want to say like sacred, like allowing themselves to be a jar and like almost like, all right, you can come in, you're welcome type shit, and hopefully when you come in, you handle me well. Because if you listening, you hear that, I'm fragile, you got handled with care, like I'm still in the healing process. Like this is something that's always going to be imprinted on me, and this shit ain't gonna go nowhere. Like you're gonna almost like addiction, like you're gonna be continuously trying to be well from this thing that you've experienced. And I feel like to talk about it, whether it be me being connected to what y'all doing or just talking about it in general as women, we've got to be a better network of women and aware of what's going on. And a lot of times, I mean, it's always 50-50. Nothing is 100 proof. There's a lot of people that don't know nothing about this shit. Like, because whether it be they just looking from the outside of, like, you know, after my sister had the abortion with a miscarriage, she went the fuck back with it. So I ain't really think nothing of it. Like, she ain't make a big deal, so I did. Or nobody's really talking about it for me to know anything. Or it could even be a man that might have that situation where, you know, say the hood shit. That's what she do all the time. Well, that's what he do all the time with the chicks. So he has no connection to it to even know no better of how to, like, yo, like, you gotta step back, this shit ain't cool. Or you need to know better so you can stop behaving this way. Whether it be her, it could be her. To stop getting abortions from these hood niggas, or the hood niggas stop making the bitches, or maybe the girls get the abortion. Or just, like, what I would do with the boys that I would mentor, if I happen to found out the tragic news, because I feel like once I know that you're fucking, now I must inform you and protect you with information, which I never want to do because I don't believe it wears me out. Like, I don't want to. I'm not your mother. I don't want to be having this conversation, but I know that your mother, and from my own experience, we don't have good tutorials about sex. It's almost the way they tell us about sex is like, you shouldn't even have said nothing. Like, you didn't inform me worth of shit or protect me worth of nothing, type of thing. So it's like, all right, now that I know that you're having sex, I want to give you this information. We talked about abortions. We talked about, you know, prenatal. We talked about how you need to be involved or how you could be involved, and if you're not involved, and how that affects, you know, the whole situation. Like, we talked about so much shit that I feel like that it's stereotypical and it's taboo to, I guess, have women's sexual reproduction health with a young man. Why not? That's gonna let him know, like, yo, like, when you having sex, it's responsibility. I'm not gonna tell you, oh, you have a baby, you're gonna catch a disease. You're sharing yourself with this person. You're taking on this person's energy. This is a whole situation. It's a lot of pleasures on the sheets, but what if? What when? How you? Like, we always have those type of conversations of, like, all right, if she got, say you fuck her, you whatever, say whatever the situation is, y'all fuck, and she get pregnant. And what if she wants to have it but you don't? Or y'all want to have it because you think you're the best people together and y'all should be able to have a fruitful fucking harvest, but y'all underage. So your whole bubble about to get popped because you're not emancipated. So now this girl, your wife, in your mind, because you love her to bits, now has to have an abortion. And you don't know how to process that shit. You feel justified in your mind of, like, that's our decision. That's our baby. But the law says, so now this is going to happen, and now you as a man, which I know that y'all don't unpack your emotions well, this could be the reason why you out here killing everything over. Mm-hmm. Or
and the reason why she don't have no self-worth because she's depressed and postpartum, even in an abortion situation.
Even in that, but for them, like, men have a way about themselves in reference to emotions, which I'm still learning, but I'm like, be it that we don't talk about none of this shit.